Today I'd like to tell you about the Donner DMK25 keyboard controller. One of the things I'd like to discuss is what it is and what it isn't. It is a control surface or a keyboard controller. It is not a keyboard all by itself that you can play with nothing else and it makes sound. It doesn't work like that. People that are familiar with these controllers will know this, but some that are new to making electronic music may not have seen something like this before. Essentially, this keyboard controller needs to have some kind of software so that it can communicate and provide controls to make music. What I want to do is show you a little bit of how you can do that. First of all, I'd like to just show you a few basic things about the keyboard very briefly, as others have gone into much more detail already. And then I want to show you how you can use this with something as simple as a cell phone and an app. Inside the box, there is instructions, which are very important because this shows you all of the possible programming possibilities for this controller. Something else that's useful is a USB interface cable, which you will need to connect the keyboard to provide power and also to interface the keyboard with something that has software so that the keyboard can communicate. Finally, there is the keyboard itself. This is the keyboard. It's actually quite small and light, very portable. And that's why I want to show you how it can work with the cell phone, because with a combination of a cell phone and this keyboard and one other piece, you have a complete recording studio at your disposal. The other piece that you need is this, and it is what's called a USB OTG connector, USB on the go. This allows the keyboard to communicate using the USB cable, which is connected along the back side here. And by connecting the USB OTG connector with the cable, you now have a way to provide MIDI or musical instrument digital interface communications to a cell phone or a laptop or any other electronic device that you would like. The MIDI interface is designed so that you can control and communicate electronically with any number of devices, and this lets you turn this control surface or controller into any number of musical instruments. All you have to do is select one. Now I'd like to talk just briefly about the options available on this keyboard. Again, others have gone into much more detail, and I'm not going to take very long, except to just note that they exist. You will probably see that there are other manufacturers such as Akai and others that make similar keyboards. So why is this one different? One of the reasons is because of the particular combination of functions that's available here. Every one of them can be reprogrammed in many different ways as shown in the instructions. I suggest that you start off with the default programming that's already built into the device, and then you can reprogram as you like. And it's very simple to load and save new programs or settings for the entire device at will. The combination that this particular unit offers, which is very flexible, is 2 slider controls, several pads, and each of these pads can be programmed in two different ways at the same time in banks. A set of what you might call recording and playback controls. Again, they don't have to be programmed that way. They are from the factory, but you can reprogram to whatever you like. Some loading and saving different settings, transposition of the keyboard up and down so that you aren't limited to just 2 octaves. You can go down 3 times or up 3 times along the octaves. And a set of sliders and knobs that you can, again, program to any number of different functions. And each one of these is sensitive to 16 different settings. And of course, there's the keys themselves. There's 2 complete octaves, and each of the keys are velocity sensitive, which means that you can play just as softly or loudly as you like, and the keys will respond with those messages to make louder and softer sounds. So, what are some of the different programs that you can use? The first one I'll just mention because there's a lot of information already about interfacing with the various digital audio workstation programs that are available. Many of these cost quite a bit of money. Some are tens of dollars, some are hundreds of dollars. And the one I'd like to mention is called Cakewalk. That is now put out by a company called BandLab, and you can download and use Cakewalk for free. It's quite complex, and it's got almost any feature that a recording musician or someone that's trying to create music would like to have. And it does interface with the DMK25. Again, I'm not going to go into detail. You can look it up on the internet, and I'm sure we'll be quite pleased with all the features that it offers. What I am even more interested in for this particular unit is how simple can we make a studio setup? What is something that we can take anywhere with us and make music? As I noted before, the keyboard is very light and very small, very portable, and along with the interface cable and a cell phone, you really have all you need to make music. Just to give you an idea of how small this keyboard is, this is a standard 8.5 by 11 notepad, and you can see that the keyboard itself is pretty much the same size as this pad. It's also just about the same weight, so there's really not that much to be carrying around. It would easily fit in a backpack or a suitcase. Very convenient to carry. What I'd like to talk about are 2 of the apps that are available for any cell phone that can be used also with this device. And it provides a very portable way to create music and record it and play it back. The first one is called Perfect Piano, and it's fairly simple, and it allows you to play this as a piano keyboard or any of several other instruments. And it also allows you to learn how to play the piano. It will teach you how to play. The second one is called ORG 2021, and it is very close to a recording studio type of application. There is a lot more flexibility than with Perfect Piano. It allows you to record music, to play it back, to select any number of different instruments, and to combine them in many different ways with many different special effects. It is a lot more complex. I would suggest that if you're not familiar with electronic music, that you start with Perfect Piano to get a feel for using a control surface with your cell phone and software. And then once you feel comfortable with that, then go on to something like the ORG 2021, or even diving into a full-blown digital audio workstation or DAW like Cakewalk. So with that said, let's look at a few of the images that I've captured for the Perfect Piano and then for ORG 2021. So there you have it, the Donner DMK25. It's very versatile, it's lightweight, it's very flexible with all of the different controls that are available, easy to use, and works with a lot of different programs. I'm really pleased with this, and I think that if you get one, you will be too. Thank you, and goodbye for now.